Hi everybody, welcome back to another edition of Light Life. I thought this week maybe I'd share a little bit about some different pieces of art and entertainment that I've been taking in over the past several weeks here. Perhaps during our current season you've had a little bit more time to pick up a book and read through that and enjoy that, maybe revisit a favorite TV show or take in a new movie that you've been looking forward to. One of the things that I tend to love fiction. That tends to be my go-to as far as what I'm reading and watching. I find a lot of truth that can be found in those stories, a lot of inspiration, tales of grace and compassion that can still be found within those. And I'm always excited when I can find a really good book or show or something that helps illuminate that. So I thought I'd share about a couple different things that I've been reading and watching during our current moment here. The first is a fiction novel called Cloud Atlas. It's by an author named David Mitchell. Do want to note that there is some adult content in there, so a fair warning with that. But I did find it to be a really compelling read. It's very well written. I loved the characters, the storylines in here. It's a novel that takes place with a number of different characters across a number of different lifetimes and different times in history, both stretching back into the past and into the far future. I particularly loved how the novel wrapped up at the end. I won't spoil anything here, but it is a novel that talks about how our lives connect throughout history, how we are connected not only in our present time but to the past, how actions and choices have maybe effects into the future. And it talks about the importance of making choices within our life, how we can choose to either pursue paths of selfishness or pettiness, things that sort of perpetuate an ongoing cycle of violence or oppression. Maybe we choose to turn the other way when injustice happens, and what the effects have of those choices. And then it also says, you know what? We can also choose to act with compassion, with courage, with self-sacrifice. And even though we are just one person in a vast ocean of people throughout time and throughout history, we can still decide to act with love, with grace, with care for other people. We can try to stretch ourselves and grow ourselves to make those choices within our context, even if that feels like, what can I do? Who am I? I'm just one person among so many. But I did find it a pretty uplifting read and a well-written book. And one other thing that I've been taking in lately, I've been watching some Star Trek. I wore my Star Trek shirt in honor of that. Been watching a series of Star Trek that I'd never seen before, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I always love Star Trek's exploration of what loyalty means, duty, what it means to be part of a society that has responsibility for one another. Deep Space Nine has tended to take a little harder view at some more difficult elements of society and how things can sometimes blur between black and white, and how we still try to live out our values of again, loyalty, courage, those kind of things. So I've been enjoying that series. So I'd like to invite you all to share, maybe in the comments of either the video or the Facebook post where we put these sometimes, share a little bit about what maybe you're reading, watching, listening to. It doesn't have to be fiction. Maybe you prefer nonfiction books or documentaries, things like that. But share a little bit about what you've been taking in over these past several weeks, what that's meant to you. Maybe it's just something as simple as it's just entertaining. It's something to take my mind off things for a while. It doesn't necessarily need to be a super deep thing that we're always reading or watching. But I do want to encourage you to share those things in the comments so that we can continue to connect with one another. Well, God's peace, blessing, and care to you all.